everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Podshots with Bhawna. Well, today is going to be a yet another very interesting episode because the theme of today's episode is reimagining knowledge sharing. Because the guest whom I have invited today is the one who knows to turn bold ideas into award winning ventures. And now he is on a special mission to make the expert guidance as accessible as if it's buying something online. So allow me a moment till I bring him up onto the screen for all of us. Okay, guys, as I was mentioning a while before, that today I am joined by a guest who's real master in converting and turning the bold ideas into award-winning ventures. So from the times where he co-founded a venture called mCanvas, which was completely redefining the mobile advertising, to today where he is building up a unique disruptive technology driven platform which is called Sprect, which is a multilingual marketplace where he is really making the knowledge expertise as accessible and instantly at a click away. So please join me to welcome Vishal Rupani, a name which clearly blends with creativity, technology, and purpose. So today we are going to dig little deeper and deep dive in his this great successful journey and understand from him what it takes to build those great award-winning ventures and how is his new mission of knowledge sharing really shaping up the today's world. So welcome Vishal, and once again thank you so much to accept my invite and be my guest today on the show.
Thanks for having me, Bhavna, and thanks for that kind introduction.
No, I think it's much deserving, and we are really looking forward because uh, I mean what you're doing is really very disruptive, and I'm sure as much as I, the same would be with the audience who are listening to you, must be very eager to know more about that. So just quickly let you know the format of the show. So I will
Mhm.
be asked, since it's a bite-sized podcast, so it's an under 15 minutes. That's the reason it's called Pod Shots. So I'll be asking you a couple of questions in the core grid. And then towards the end, we are going to have a very sizzling 1 minute rapid fires where we would just ask some candid, quirky questions to know Vishal a little more informally. So hope you're okay with that.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So let's begin, Vishal. So as I mentioned in your intro, you have been really the one who's kind of pioneering this, knowledge sharing. So from your days where you started Canvas, which was a completely, redefining the mobile advertising, where you wanted to tackle those banner blindness, as you mentioned, to the time now when you are building up this completely technology driven and disruptive platform of Sprect. So, what has been that connecting thread between these seemingly different two ventures? So, if you could share a little more about that.
On paper, they look completely different. One's AdTech, the other's a knowledge platform. But the funny thing is, both are actually marketplaces.
Mhm.
At mCanvas, we connected brands with consumers. At Sprect, we connect professionals with people who need advice. The model changed from B2B, it became C2C, but the idea stayed the same, which is how do you make two sides talk to each other in a way that feels human? So at mCanvas, we were fixing banner blindness, which is people had stopped noticing ads. So we made advertising more interactive, more emotional, which is ads you could move with, play with, and even talk to. Right now, with Sprect, the noise is different. It's not ads; it's content, which is everyone's posting, but no one's listening. So now we're really helping people cut through the noise and get access to the one person who can actually help them. So yeah, different words, but same DNA. Both are about reimagining how people connect. Just that this time it's not brands buying clicks, it's people buying clarity.
That's great and really interesting to hear. I think we have been always talking about B2B, B2C. C2C is something which is really upcoming, and I'm glad that you are actually building that up and with the kind of initial successes which you have got. I think there's way to go further. So coming to next, I mean, from your mCanvas days, you actually probably, if I'm not wrong with the numbers, there were more than thousands of campaigns which you built for more than you know 400 brands, and actually you won so many accolades, dozens of awards you won, during those 6 years. So what was that, secret sauce of the leadership decisions which really made you stand out? Because this is a area which is really populated, so it's there's no dearth of the competition. So how did you manage to stand out in this environment?
So again, at mCanvas, the company didn't grow because we did everything right. It grew because we refused to do what everyone else was doing, right? Let me explain that with an example. So back then, this is maybe going to early 2016, mobile ads were boring, right? Those tiny square banner ads that you'd click by mistake and then spend 10 seconds trying to find the close button on it. So we said, you know what, that's kind of enough. We'll only make ads that feel alive, ones you can move with, play with, and even talk to. Then the second big call that we took was pricing. We didn't really charge brands for views, clicks, or installs. That was typical of what happened in 2016, right? Which is we kind of changed the model here for advertisers and agencies, which is we charge them only when people actually engaged with the ad on the mobile phone. So, and that was again wild for 2016, where some thought we were crazy, others thought we were idealist. Turns out we were just right enough for that time. And then the third part was how we worked with publishers, which is um, publishers such as the Times of India and Indian Express and the likes, which is the ones that put content and monetize their websites with ads with companies like mCanvas provided them. Okay? Now, instead of asking them to replace current ads with ours, we created new spaces on their pages, which meant extra revenue for them. And we paid them a little bit more. But again, something we did differently was we only paid them for ads that were actually seen and not just present on the page. So I think all of this made it better for users, better for brands, and better for publishers. That mix and a little bit of stubbornness helped us stand out.
So this is a great success story because I mean, being an entrepreneur, obviously you take risks, but many a times that risk taking capability has to really overpower, and sometimes you really have to scale it. And I'm so glad that you really, as you mentioned, that many might have thought you as you are doing something really foolish. But I think such kind of staying foolish, staying hungry is really required. So great. So now coming the focus to your existing venture now, Sprect, which is your new baby, and of course you would agree with me that it takes time to build the credibility. So for you now building up Sprect, so can you share a little more for the audience who's listening to you and watching today, that what's the vision of Sprect, and how are you balancing that trust, technology, and purpose to make it, yet another successful venture?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that question. So again, for context, which is Sprect is an online marketplace for consultations, which is think of us as the Amazon for advice, not for products. Now, specifically addressing the question, now with Sprect, we were not just building a platform. We're trying to build a new habit. In India today, especially, right, people are used to free advice. You send a hi sir on LinkedIn and then wait 3 weeks and maybe get a thumbs up emoji if you're lucky. Right. So the idea that you can book time with an expert on demand, no chasing intros, that is completely new. So I think the first challenge for us was trust. You know, why would someone pay to speak to a stranger online? That's where storytelling helped. What we did was we started showing real cases, not brand videos. which is someone getting help for an internship referral, someone getting feedback on a startup idea, someone stuck in the D2C space saying that, hey, I need better channels to market, right? Now, those real conversations built more credibility for us as a brand at Sprect than any other marketing campaign ever could, right? And the second piece for us is like the next part is technology. Now, the best tech to me is the one that you don't notice. Now, if you're thinking about buttons, about dashboards, you're not really thinking about the person, right? We wanted Sprect to feel like a conversation and not a product demo. So at the heart of it, it's still not about, it's actually, it's still about being human, right? Which is you got to balance storytelling, right? You got to balance tech. And then finally, trust really means asking, does it feel real? Right? Because that's what people are paying for, not for content, not for filters, but a real connection.
So that's very wonderful, and I think that really makes it so different. And you have actually put it across very beautifully. So just to add on to this, only extending this question, what I mean, this is something which still is a new idea in this environment. So where do you see platforms like Sprect in the coming future with this knowledge sharing, or as your mission itself is, you want to really make the expert guidance as accessible as if it's buying something online. So where do you see it shaping up in the coming times, especially, where it's a virtual thing, so that human to human connect is not there. So what are your thoughts about it as a futuristic road for Sprect?
Wow, that's a tough question, but to me, I think the future of learning is moving from content to conversation, which is we've all Googled our problems and come back with 15 tabs open and zero clarity, right? That's the gap Sprect is filling. People don't want another article, not another webinar, right? They want to ask, okay, this is my situation. What would you do, right? So it's not about learning from a textbook. It's about learning from someone's story. That's where real connections happen. Even a short chat with the right person can change how you think. Now, that could be about your career, your confidence, or your next move. While I love AI, but here's the current truth, which is AI can give you information, but it can't give you understanding. It can't give you all the context that's needed to understand who you are, what your problems are, how to emotionally resonate with a person asking a question, right? The machine will give you answers, but again, that real emotional understanding, that I think is still the job of a human. So to me, the future of learning won't be about more noise. It'll be about more people who are talking, sharing, guiding. And that's what Sprect is built for.
Wonderful. It's very transformative, and as you said, that AI, of course, cannot replace the human experience. And I think the platform like this, as you rightly said, that it's not a machine which is answering, a robot which is answering, but someone's actually hands-on experience or the actual industry experience which is counting. So I'm pretty sure that this is something way forward and move forward thing to move on. And now coming to the last one in this core grid, I'm sorry, I'm not letting you have your short so I've been pushing questions after question, but coming to the last one. So you have been acknowledged and appreciated, and deservingly so, that you have been even listed 40 under 40, and you have won so many awards. So how do you balance out this external recognition with still that grind which you go through internally as an entrepreneur?
So I think, look, awards are nice. And let's be honest, they feel good, right? You
True.
get tagged on LinkedIn and your parents finally understand you do something serious.
True.
It's fun for a day or two, but the next morning, nothing changes after the award night. you still wake up with the same problems, the same dashboard, and the same chaos. So I think what I've learned over time is like I treat recognition as a signal and not a goal, right? It's a small pat on the back that says, okay, you are doing something right. But I don't think that can be the reason you do something, right? So what I've realized is these awards help the team more than me. It gives them pride because most startup work is often invisible, right? No one's really clapping for late nights or debugging or writing some great copy at 3 a.m. Now, when this team sees the company getting recognized, it tells them that, hey, this is worth it. I think that's the real balance. Like you enjoy it for the bit, you post the photo, you thank your mom, and then you go back to work because awards really don't build startups, people do.
Fantastic. I think I love this last statement which you made. So great. I think this conversation was really great. Vishal, I wish we could have continued, but keeping the format of the show. Now we have come to the conclusion of the main grade. So now it's the last bit of knowing little informal about Vishal, what we do not know on the social media or the LinkedIn. So I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. So are you ready for that?
Yes.
Okay, so let me start the timer. Okay, so Vishal, what's more addictive? Is it reels, results, or revenue?
Oh, reels. Right? Because they're short, they're snappy. I want to say revenue as a founder, but I think reels are super addictive. It's short form consumable content. So yeah.
Oh, I love this honesty. Okay, next one. If creativity had some smell, so what do you think it would smell like?
I think coffee,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Because it would get your brain going. Because again, creativity is you do something, you write something, you think of something, and then that sparks these
It's
little
your
neurons
brain.
in the brain that like that creates excitement. So it's like coffee, right? You get like that energy boost
Sure.
very, very quickly.
Sure. Okay. So, what's your go-to power song before any big keynote or any big meeting or anywhere you need to pop? So, what's that go-to power song?
So I think that keeps changing for me. I don't think
Okay.
look at it as a power song for me. It's more of a relaxation. I'm
Mhm.
listening to Sapphire by Ed Sheeran right now.
Okay. Okay. That's great choice. Okay. Okay. So, what's the biggest aha moment as an entrepreneur so far? I'm sure you will have many more in future.
I think the thing when you start from scratch and you get that first big client, that's not coming back as another moment. So for me, it's that first client.
Okay, sure. The last one, what's that one
Mhm.
word which you think your team would address you for your leadership style?
Wow. I think collaborative.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. I prefer working with the team, giving them context of what we're doing, why we're doing. That to me yields a better output than simply delegating or giving direction.
Sure. I'm sure they will agree to what you know about that. Okay. So great. So this brings us to end of the rapid fire. We are on time and it was wonderful conversing with you, Vishal. And thank you once again for making this time for this episode. And I'm sure the audience is definitely going to get a lot of insights from this conversation and of course support such kind of transformational things which you are trying to do and build together. So thanks once again and wishing you all the best.
You asked some great questions, Bhavna. Thank you, and thank you for having me again. All the best to you as well.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Bye. You too.
Okay, guys, so it was such an insightful deep dive in the mind of a true disruptor, I would say. And I think my takeaway from this conversation with Vishal is that, the knowledge sharing cannot be held to yourself. I think it should be best spread and made accessible as much as possible. and whichever way and whichever manner it can be, especially with the help of technology. This should definitely reach out to as many as possible, and that's exactly what Vishal's new platform Sprect is, aiming for. So, if this episode really made you think, pause, and reflect, and it really clicked some spark, and you think it was worthy to be shared with someone else, so please do so and let the spark ignite in someone else's life and mind as well. So, this was a wrap for today's episode. Till we meet next time, when I bring on another interesting and thought leader from the industry. You pick up a shot of your choice till I finish my coffee, and take good care of yourself and your loved ones. See you next time, same channel in Podshots with Bhawna. Take good care. Signing off now.